My name is Ayanda Seboni. I'm the Group Executive for Mutuality at PPS, and the views expressed in this interview are my own, from my own experiences, and do not represent the views of PPS. So PPS is, as you say, the Professional Provident Society. It was a society that was started in 1941 by a group of 8 dentists. So a society is a collection of people that come together with a common purpose. In this case, it was professionals who realized that during the Second World War, they couldn't be much in terms of being professionals if they were not able to work. So they came together and said, we want to protect one another, and they pooled their resources so that if any of them were hurt or passed away, they could be able to compensate the family so the family can carry on with their lifestyle. So there's no difference. The difference with PPS is obviously the people that are part of that society, whereas in a burial society, it might be the purpose might just be burial. Whereas with PPS, it's protecting someone's income, protecting their lives, protecting in case of critical illness, as well as with short-term and other solutions that we have. For me, mutuality is the most indigenous business model because it's something that comes naturally. People come together and they want to solve each other's problems. And what makes societies so great is that it's personal. It's not just a transactional relationship, it's personal. You have people coming together and they offer, in the case of a burial society, they'll offer, to help out with arranging and so on. The same with PPS, it's not just about covering you from an insurance perspective, but it's about the community of professionals and how they help each other. Trust is essential. In the business of insurance, in the business of investments, it's all about trust, because I would not give my money to someone if I know that it's not going to come back. An insurance contract essentially is a contract that says, I know that you will honor what we agreed when I'm no longer around or I am too weak to do the thing that I normally do. So when you sign up for an insurance contract, you are saying that you understand that you might not be around, but the insurance company, PPS, will honor the promise that they made when you were still around. So trust is absolutely essential. And the reason why societies work in smaller communities also is because of that trust, because you know who you're dealing with. You know the face behind the person, behind the agreement. The one thing I wish I knew is I should protect myself while I'm alive, not only when I'm gone. I sat with someone, an advisor recently, and they said to me, oh, you're worth more dead than you are alive. And I need to restructure my finances so that I can take care of myself in case of illness, in case of not being able to work for whatever reason. So that's an important thing. Sometimes we look at products, we think we know what it is, whereas when you sit with an advisor, they are not emotional about your money. They sit there and they give you the facts, and it's the facts that you need in order for you to manage your finances better. An unspoken rule is that people are going to do what it is that they promised to do. That's what keeps a lot of the organizations stronger, especially societies. You all know about, times where people save together and then someone has a mystery issue and the money disappears. Things fall apart when there isn't integrity. So integrity is key to a society being viable. Once an organization gets big, you need to have a level of governance. So in the community where it's 10 of us or 15 of us, it's fine. You can have an agreement, you can talk to one another. But once you start having lots of people involved, you need the level of governance, and that's how organizations get incorporated. PPS started off as a friendly society until it got too big, and then it had to be incorporated differently in order to ensure that the governance requirements and the protection of these many, many members was there. So that's the difference, really. I think there's a point at which size determines that you need to be incorporated. So one of the big financial lessons that I learned is avoidance is not a strategy. Many times, especially in my community, people are not comfortable talking about death. But death comes to all of us, it's an eventuality. And when you plan your finances by getting a will, that's a very uncomfortable thing for people to think about. But when you do things right, you don't leave a mess behind when you're gone. So that's a big lesson that I learned. I learned it from my parents. My parents were fairly diligent when it came to money. So they did have a will in place. They did have some insurance in place. So it was good to see that we were not left in a mess. We were not left with confusion. And I've seen it so many times with other people where people avoid, and when they avoid long enough, the decision is made for them and they leave such a massive mess behind. So learning about mutuality it's a beautiful way to run a business and to also have members engaged. When you are part of a mutual, you are in part an owner of the business. So our board is nominated by members. Employees are also members. So you get involved and you get to see the full governance of the business. You've got a say in how that business is run. And when profits are declared, you get to share in those profits. And I've seen for myself how those profits grow and compound over time. And I've seen some of the higher profit shares. And it's just about consistency, about diligence, and following the advice that you get from your financial advisors. And the mutuality benefit at the end is this beautiful thing that we call profit share.